Why we will stop chasing social media and build content that actually works. Why free tests kill real partnerships. And what we learned the hard way. I've been in digital since 2000. I built my first website while studying programming. In 2008, I launched my first digital agency. That agency was successful. Eventually, it was acquired by a strategic buyer. So this is not my first business. But in 2023, I started again, a new agency. On the US market, in a completely different world, different country, different clients, different expectations, different rules. And the first couple of years were brutal. We weren't building content for ourselves. We weren't thinking about YouTube or Instagram. We were surviving. We were doing free tests, free pilots, trying to prove value, trying to earn trust in a new market. And that expertise forced us to rethink content, pricing, and client relationship completely. This is video about that shift. When you enter a new market, reputation resets to zero. Your past wins don't transfer automatically. Your confidence doesn't help. Your case studies doesn't close deals by themselves. So we did what many agencies do. We removed friction. No commitment, let's test. Let's try something small first. At that time I felt reasonable. In reality, it created much bigger problem. Free tests feel safe. For the clients, no risk. For the agency, hope. We told ourselves, once they see the value, they'll stay. But free tests don't clarify anything. They postpone decisions, positioning, pricing, expectations, and most importantly, they postpone commitments. Here is what we kept seeing. We invest time, team, money. The client observes from a distance. No urgency, no pressure, no ownership, because nothing is at stake. When the test ends, it's very easy to say, thanks, that was interesting, and move on. Not because the work was bad, but because no real relationship was ever formed. This is the lesson that cost us the most to learn. In most cases, no commitment during the test means no relationship after the test. Not always, but most of the time. A test without commitment is not the beginning of cooperation. It's a way to avoid making a decision. The moment there is commitment, behavior change, paid work forces clarity, goals become specific, feedback becomes honest, timelines matter. Commitment creates attention, responsibility, continuity. Relationships don't start with a test, they start with the decisions. Here is something important. When we were doing free tests, our content didn't work. Not because of algorithms, not because of platforms, because we didn't know exactly who we were for, what problem we were solving, or what kind of clients we actually wanted. So content was vague. It tried to attract curious people, cautious people, people who wanted to try. That kind of content never converts. Once we stopped doing free tests, everything became clearer. We were forced to answer who this is for, what problem we will solve, and what was the price. And then something interesting happened. Content became easier, because now it had a job, not to prove value, but to filter. Content is not there to convenience undecided people. It's there to attract people who are ready, repel people who are not, realign expectations. Good content doesn't maximize reach, it maximizes alignment. When content works properly, pricing stops being negotiated, sales conversions get shorter, free work disappears naturally. That's why we will launch our own YouTube and Instagram now. Not because we have finally found time, but because now we know what we are saying, who we were saying it for, and where this content should take the business over the next 2 years. This content is not an experiment, it's an infrastructure. Content is not about posting more, and it's not about being everywhere. It's about building a system that explains how you think, how you make decisions, and who you are actually for. If you are interested in building a content systems, not random posts, not experiments without commitment, you can book a call with us. And that call will show you how we are building the system for ourselves, how we build it for our clients, and whether this approach can actually help your business. Sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes is no. Either way, you'll live with the clarity. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.